Alright, what is going on, guys? I've been making videos, not too many, but definitely a couple, about Conor McGregor fighting Jose Aldo for quite some time now. I've given you my opinion on it back then. I've kind of given you my opinion on it. Even in other videos, just talking about Conor. And we're about a month away from the fight. The fight is going to take place. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. As far as looking at the overall picture of how this fight is going to go down. Basically, I'm going to break down some stats for you that are pretty amazing, from both these guys. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Conor would beat Frankie Edgar, would beat Cub Swanson, and all these other guys. Could maybe somebody catch him in a submission? Yeah, that's possible. But I don't really think it would sidetrack him that much. And I talked before how that actually maybe would benefit Conor McGregor in actually beating Jose Aldo. I do believe Conor is the guy to beat Jose Aldo. I really do. But it may be a little bit too early. And I talked on that before. I said, you know what? Conor's really better off to take his time. And Jose Aldo is 28 years old. He's 28. He's young. He's a small guy, so I don't suspect that as his aging, it seems like he could still move quick. I mean, you slow down as you age, but when you're real small like that, you're real quick, real athletic. I mean, he's an amazing fighter. I mean, look at this. Jose Aldo is not lost in 10 years. 10 years. So regardless of, he's got 14 TKO wins, 9 decision wins. There's a lot of decisions. And if you look at his record, there's a lot of, 5 rounds. You see that a lot. I mean, and I'm going to tell you what, when you look at Conor's record, you just like, his record wins. Now, Conor has not lost in 5 years. Now, granted, he has not been fighting as long. But he's on a 5-year win streak. And this guy, I mean, I don't usually sit and look at stats. I kind of just give you my thoughts. But, I mean, man, I got to tell you, Conor McGregor, all his fights, they're all like in, one round. One round. Knockout. 1 round. TKO. First round. I mean, does anybody even hit the guy? I mean, it doesn't appear so. His only 2 losses are by submission. And that's a long time ago when he first started out in MMA. Now listen to this. Here's the thing. Jose Aldo has only won 2 fights by submission. Now he has submitted somebody twice, 2 times. So he's not a submission expert by any means. I mean, we haven't seen anybody do anything to Conor in the stand-up. I mean, has anybody challenged this guy at all? No. But, that being said, has anybody really challenged Jose in stand-up? Not really. I mean, Jose's an amazing fighter, and, if you look at the record and say, oh, wow, I think Conor's going to destroy him, you could kind of think that, and it's like, I'm almost kind of thinking that, man. It's just because he's just so destructive. And people talk about the competition, but a lot of those wins are that, the guys that Jose was fighting in the UFC like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. The competition is probably on par, if not, it's probably a lower end of competition than maybe what Conor was fighting. I mean, you're going to remember, Conor was a champion and was at Cage Warriors. It's a European MMA organization, but he was champion in 2 divisions. I don't know what the weight class, it was 145 and 155, exactly what the weight classes were. That's what I believe it was. Maybe they had a 150 and a 160, I don't know. But I believe it was 145, 155. And he dominated all that. Those guys fighting over there, I would say, maybe their skill level is on par. Some of those guys are in the UFC now. I would say it's probably on par with guys that Jose was fighting years ago. I mean, the most shocking win from Jose Aldo is when he beat Frankie Edgar. You know, but this, I mean, this guy's just destroyed Frankie Edgar. And we've seen Frankie Edgar basically beat Benson Henderson. Could have gone either way. But, you know, Jose doesn't really finish fights. Conor doesn't get finished. But I will tell you this, man. Jose Aldo, this guy knows how to win. He just wins and wins and wins. I mean, if this can go to a decision, it very well, the way that Jose fights and seeing that he's fought so many fights for 5 rounds, it's almost like a strategy. I mean, he's not going to be flustered. He's going to be punching. I mean, Jose's going to be landing punches, guys. He's either going to get knocked out or he's going to be landing punches. I mean, he's very fast. He's explosive. I mean, he really fights a lot like Conor McGregor. It just seems like Conor's just got a little bit more power, a little more reach. It's a little more... But, I mean, they're really very similar. I mean, there's really nobody that can challenge Jose Aldo if Conor McGregor wasn't around. But on the other hand, who can challenge Conor McGregor? There's nobody. I mean, who would be a challenge? Nobody other than Jose Aldo. I'm kind of curious to see what happens. Is one of these guys going to be smart? Is Conor going to be smart? Is he going to try and be a little bit evasive? He's evasive in a way with his movements, but he mostly comes forward, stalks the guys down. He does keep his distance, and that may be a factor in this fight. I mean, Jose's not real tall, but I'm telling you what, man, if Jose starts landing those leg kicks, Conor's movement, and if Conor cannot knock him out, and Jose beats down those legs, I don't know. I mean, I could see him just beating Conor because those leg kicks are very destructive. If he can get in with those kicks and get out, and Conor's not able to get the knockout, this could very well go 5 rounds or go into the later rounds, and I think Conor would be in trouble. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. It's just like, it's crazy. This is a really good fight. I mean, it really is. It's a much better fight now that it's going to happen than it was a year and a half ago when we were talking about it. We watched this whole thing, you know, beat Poirier. We just watched Poirier come in and destroy Yancey, and you know, we've seen Frankie Edgar destroy Cub Swanson and all these things, and Max Holloway has not lost since, and he's looked great since he lost to Conor. And Conor made Max Holloway look like a 12-year-old. I mean, he completely schooled him. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I really don't. I'm curious to see what's going to happen myself. I really don't know. I kind of think, and I'm being honest here, I think it's going to go 2 ways. Either Conor's going to knock him out right away, or actually, you know, it could go a number of ways. I just really don't know. I could see Jose picking him apart with the leg kicks and slowing him down. But it's crazy, man. It's just really a nuts thing. I don't know what's going to happen. It might be a little bit shocking. It might not be the stand-up war that we're expecting. Jose Aldo's skills may just kind of nullify Conor McGregor's just amazing, just knock you out right away, you know, just light you up. I mean, Jose Aldo's on a different level than anybody that Conor's fought. But the same thing from the other side. It's going to be a great fight, man. It really is. And if it may not be super, super exciting, it may even be a little bit just like, ooh, like a Stanley, you know what I mean? You're putting 2 guys in there that their skill levels are like the same. I don't expect a first-round knockout from Conor. I mean, I'll be very shocked if Conor knocks out Jose. He may do it in the later rounds, but by then Jose might beat him up with leg kicks. to where he can't move, he can't fight the same. Your punching power goes down as your punching power, Conor's punching power is here. Every second that punching power, the force of that punches, the more punches you throw, the weaker it gets. Later rounds, I mean, that's why you see guys knocked out more in first rounds than you do see guys getting knocked out by the 5th round. I mean, that's going to be a crazy fight. I mean, it really is, but it may be the perfect time for this fight to go down. It's crazy, and if Conor loses, I don't think it's going to slow him down, because I think he's going to put on a good performance. I think people, if he's the first guy to really, I mean, we've seen other guys challenge Aldo in a way, but if Conor really puts on a good performance but loses a decision slightly, it's not really going to affect him. In fact, there may even be a immediate rematch. And if Jose loses, there's probably going to be a rematch right away anyway. So, I mean, this is just kind of a weird thing. So it's like, this is almost like the feeler out fight for the second fight. That's the way I look at this. As far as who's going to win, I mean, I don't know. But, man, 10 years without losing, he's only 28 years old. Those are amazing numbers. But then again, none of those guys that Jose Aldo's fought, I don't believe is on the level of Conor McGregor. So, I don't know, guys. Those are some of my thoughts on the fight. Conor, 17 wins, 15 TKOs, either TKOs, KOs. He's only had one, Conor McGregor has only had one loss, he's only had one fight go to decision. And it wasn't a loss. I'm sorry, I almost started saying that wrong. Conor McGregor's only gone to decision one time. One time. And he won. That was Max Holloway when he got hurt. And Aldo, he's won 9 fights by decision, 14 by TKO. So, is he going to decision Conor McGregor? Man, I don't know. Sparks are going to fly. I think somebody's going to get knocked out. And you know what? It just might be Jose Aldo. And I'll see you guys later.